film the son of a wealthy businessman. Grisha is a younger man who thinks he can get what he wants each time he desires and do whatever he wants. His father, who wants to trade his son, makes an excellent plan for his son. Grisha will have an accident, and because of this accident, he will think that he has been teleported to the past. The younger guy, who unexpectedly finds himself as a slave, will stay in his lifestyle as a completely extraordinary individual all yet again. Grisha, Milos Bikovich, is the son of the oligarch Pavel Alexander Samoylenko. He is a spoiled teenager who spends nearly all of his time on night golf equipment, has casual sex with ladies, and does something he wants without results. Someday Grisha
that she's
receives
not
a
obligated to
twist
share
of
intimate
fate with the
details about
police,
herself, as they are
and his
just friends
father
with
realizes
benefits.
that
Later,
Grisha
our
will
team
remain
confronts
more
Grisha
and
for
more
not confessing to
reckless
his
and
crime and
threatening
letting
in
him take the
religion, and
fall.
that his
However,
father
the
will keep
remorseless
him from
Grisha
any
replies
punishment
that
for
he
his
doesn't care
actions.
and that it was Avdi who chose to
Pavel
punish him.
begins
As the
to
two are
search for a
talking,
way
Grisha
to
notices a
exchange his
village
son
girl,
for the
Liza,
hire.
getting off of a horse.
Television
Surprisingly, while
producer
getting down,
Anastasia,
she exposes her
Maria
modern
Mironova,
Victoria's Secret
Pavel's friend
panties.
with
Grisha initially
advantages,
cracks a
invites
joke
him to
until it
contact
dawns on
Lev
him that he just
Arnoldovich,
saw a modern panty in
an
the 18th
eccentric
century village.
psychologist
Smelling a
whose
rat, he
uncommon
tackles her to the
strategies
ground
may
and tries to
additionally appear cruel and stunning, but nearly always provide an assured result. Quickly Grisha gets into an accident organized by his father and loses consciousness. He involves in a solid in a deserted village, placed on a landowner's estate within the Russian Empire in the summer of 1860, 6 months before the abolition of serfdom. At first, Grisha thinks that this is a trick, however. The surrounding truth is too real, the encircling human beings too convincing, and now he's a disenfranchised serf, a horse groom, not able to carry out his duties because he's fearful of horses. Grisha tries to run away unsuccessfully and is dragged away to be hanged. He's stored best by the advent of Aglaya, Olga Dibtseva, the daughter of a landowner, for the sake of whose Khalday the master, Oleg Komarov, pardons the fugitive. Trying to motivate logically, Grisha in the beginning vehemently denies the opportunity of falling into the beyond, but then regularly involves terms with the placement of a serf. In reality, the whole village of the 19th century turns out to be a skillful production of Anastasia and the psychologist Lev Arnoldovich, carried out with Pavel's money. The challenge intends to change Grisha's view of the world around him and himself, for which the team is watching his every flow. The project isn't a perfect recreation of 1860s Russia, but due to the fact Grisha is simply too blind to simple Russian records to notice the many anachronisms around him, the undertaking isn't threatened. The scriptwriter plans for Grisha to start an affair with Aglaya, growing into a serf eloping with a lady, and a whole reassessment of existence attitudes. But Grisha does now not seem to sympathize with the scenario of a young lady compelled to marry an older, wealthy landowner. Pavel, seeing no development in Grisha's mindset, is enraged and plans to damage the task. But the challenge is saved unexpectedly. Grisha accidentally, out of the nook of her eye, comments that the village female Liza, Alexandra Borich, who had unsuccessfully jumped from a horse, appears to be wearing modern-day panties and tries to appear up her skirt. Seeing the response of those around him, Grisha unexpectedly realizes that he is long past some distance, and for the first time in his life returns to the character angry through him to express regret. The surprised Pavel concurs to retain the undertaking. Grisha proceeds to make a true reference to Liza. The psychologist proposes to change the situation and make Liza the item of Grisha's love. Liza despises Grisha, but she nonetheless has the same opinion to assist him in trade. Along the way, Grisha gradually modifications his views on lifestyles and himself, watching his sins happen themselves inside the Son of the Lord, Alexei, played by Liza's actual life boyfriend Anton. Aglaya's actress, Polina, offended by the aid of the lack of the leading role, convinces Anton that Liza plans to begin an affair with Grisha. They begin to have sex but are accidentally noticed by Liza and Grisha, who failed to assume incest from Aglaya and her brother, Alexei. The furious Lev Arnoldovich removes Aglaya and Alexei from the jobs. In revenge, Polina famous the venture to the world, and says that a man is being tortured. Police start to research the project, aided using Aglaya, with only a few hours left until the police discover the venture. An emergency plan is made to once and for all alternate Grisha's mindset. The Golden Horde will invade 19th century Russia. Grisha does not observe this anachronism, and the Golden Horde kidnaps Liza. Grisha reverts to his egocentric, cowardly methods and runs away, apparently dooming the task. However, then, he returns to fight off the Tatar navy, save Liza, and journey away on his horse, simply minutes before the police arrive to find the venture and take it for just an ancient movie set. Grisha manages to make it to a gas station, but before he can recognize what has occurred, he is fed snoozing tablets and falls asleep. Upon waking up, he is advised that he fell right into a coma for 3 months and there has been no surf passed and no village, while his man or woman improvement remains. Grisha realizes because of this Liza turned in no way real and will become deeply depressed. At some point he meets Polina and Anton, the actors for Lady Aglaya and Lord Alexei, in a club, wherein, taking pity on him, they tell him the fact approximately the undertaking and that Liza is actual. Liza and Grisha get collectively. Pavel and Anastasia get married. Within the ultimate scene of the movie, any other oligarch's son is dragged into the village and tricked into believing he has fallen into feudal Russia. Grisha watches on as a part of the assignment's crew,